Well, for today's video, I had no real theme. Honestly, I've been busy with keeping up with my book, advertising it on social media, running my blog that I really didn't have anything special to say. And if you do see like something in my hair, it's this. So it's kinky curly curling custard. Yeah, and water. So yeah. So I guess I'll just talk about what's going on with me lately. Like I said, I've been keeping up on my blog. I do daily blogs about random topics. It's not specifically catered to a thing. Usually it has to do with what's going on in the media right now or just what's going on in life in general, like what's going on in Flint, Michigan. And come to find out that Flint, Michigan isn't the only city that's going through this. This is going on across the nation. And it's like, you hear things like this in third world nations and you're like, oh, that's so sad, can I do something to help? Or you just like, man, my prayers go out to these people, and you move on with your life. But when it's like in your country, in your city, it's like you're not that far removed as much as you think because you live in this place or you can buy these things. You're just not that far removed. And it's sad whether it's happening in this country or somebody else's country. It's still sad. And I'm glad that it's getting attention, but what does that do? Especially with people who have been affected by this, they've been drinking this water for the last 2 years. Even if you do get clean water, that doesn't change the fact that these people will be permanently scarred by this event. Like they will permanently have mental issues, mental handicaps, or have physical handicaps because of this. That didn't even have to happen. Like you didn't have to switch water. You didn't have to switch it to quote unquote save money. You could have just let it be, but I guess money trumps people's lives, and that's the society that we live in. Like I said, I didn't really have anything to really talk about. I see a lot more people, especially on social media, this generation, they are kind of leaving the workforce in a sense of doing their own thing. I see a lot of them like me who see that the facade of going to school, get education, and all that stuff really doesn't matter if there's no job. And if there is a job open, you're making the same money as a kid in high school. What was the purpose of it? You have a mortgage of a debt and you can't pay that off, or you're struggling to pay that off, and you can't live the life of riches that you thought you were going to get after you graduate. That's my John fell. You can't get the life of luxury that you thought you were going to have, and you see the facade for what it is. So a lot of people in my generation, especially on social media, are doing their own thing, whether it's songwriting, whether it's, becoming an author like me, whether it's whatever. They're doing the entrepreneur thing. They are inventing new things. They're inventing gadgets and whatnot. And I think that stuff is cool. I see a lot of people who are into artistic work, drawing, and the whole comic book thing, and I think that's cool too. And I'm always a person who's always like, go for yours, because I'm going for mine. So I'm happy to see that my generation are just like, screw going the original path that was set for me but wasn't made for me by me, and now I want to do it my way. So I think that's really cool. What else? People are still upset about the whole Oscars thing, to be honest. I said my piece on it. I don't really care. Either or. Well, I feel like it's funny that it's a big hoopla, but next year be the same thing, maybe a couple of token roles, and Black Hollywood would be okay with it. I just feel like there's a little outrage right now because you're in your feelings, but I doubt next year there will be a Black Hollywood. I doubt there will be Black actors and producers and script writers and whatnot going their own way and doing their own thing. I highly doubt it. I just feel like right now, y'all in your feelings, whatever, but y'all be back to the same old, same old. Just like the artists today, they complain about their record label, but the artists of yesteryear were in the process of having their own labels, so did have some mom and pop type thing. They chucked that to the side to be a part of Def Jam or a part of Interscope or whatever. And now you're not happy with your label, but you can thank the former artists of yesteryear for doing that because they had their own, and then they chucked it aside just to get some crumbs off the table. So, Black people have a tendency to think the white man's ice is always colder, and Black people have a tendency of chucking aside their own thing just to have crumbs off of other people's table. I mean, I don't
I don't know what to say about that. That's a self-esteem thing. That's something like people need to work out.
But it's nothing new. And I don't feel like I really have to go into that much of the details about it, because no matter how much I'm for it or against it, it's not like black people are really going to do anything about it. They just like to vent. They like to go do that little outrage thing. They like to get in their feelings. And then once they hooside and they get it all out, it's back to the same old, same old. Hardly anything's going to change. So I don't feel the need to act like it is, because it's not. People who want it to change will change, and they will find a way to change. But the people who don't, most likely just gonna just rant, rave, get in their feelings, make a whole production, a whole scene, dramatics, and then same old, same old. So I really just don't have anything to say, nor do I really care.
The whole Stacey Dash thing.
The same thing. I just don't care. Like, she's entitled to her own opinion. I can't be mad at her.
She says dumb shit. Like, she says dumb stuff. Like, why are you surprised?
She wasn't raised as the typical black person experience. She was raised somewhat in Hollywood, so she kind of has this warped mentality. Also, she's been given roles. You know, she has a platform. She kind of has a safety net that the average black person doesn't. So, of course, she's going to say these things. She is biracial herself. She's half black, half Mexican. I think she's been dating white men. I remember she went on Wendy or whatever, the Wendy Williams show, and she was like, you know, I've been engaged several times and I've got rings and didn't work out, and she prefers older white men.
The relationships with men that you've had.
Yes.
All right, so Stacey's been married. You've been engaged 6 times and married 3?
Yes.
No, wait. Do you give the rings back or do you keep them?
I do.
You do?
I've given all the rings back.
As a lady should.
Don't do it. Don't give them back. If it doesn't work, keep the ring, put it in the bank safety deposit box.
Oh. A mess. Okay. Now, your father, was he black or white?
My father's black.
Are you a mixed?
Yes,
mixed?
Mexican. I'm Mexican and black.
Mexican and black.
Yes.
And the men that you were engaged to, were they white men?
They were white men.
And so, 3 of those engagements broken up, and 3 of them turned into husbands. What's the longest marriage that you had?
This last one, we were married for 2 years, but we were only together for 3. The other marriages, I was with them for 5 years, but we were only married for like 8 months.
Yeah.
So.
And Fox News is for older white men, whether they're rich or poor. They have this warped mentality. Like, I don't care what Stacey Dash says. I mean, for real though, when was the last time people were really checking for Stacey Dash? When was the last time people were like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Stop what we're doing.
Someone called Stacey Dash.
You know, who cares? Fox feeds her to say these things. She says it. She gets paid. It is what it is. I don't feel any type of way about it. I mean, and that's part of the reason why I say black people are always selling out. Like, whether it's making money and making more money, but losing your own business, losing your own rights, your own loyalty, your own controlling factor, or saying some bull for the cameras. Black people are always selling out. So I'm just not surprised. I just can't be surprised, whether it's our own television with the whole BET thing. Though Bob Johnson didn't own all of BET, he owned like maybe 50%, and then he couldn't keep up with it, and then he sold it. But the point is, black people are always selling out their things. Black people's things are always for purchase. It's always for sale. So I really can't just be upset, and I don't like getting upset just to get upset. So it is what it is. Once black people start to value their own stuff, then maybe people will value what black people think and what black people have. But if you're always putting a price on it, then it is what it is. Black people don't think generational. Like, you could have a product and it could be worth $1 million, but you're only making $500,000. If someone offers you $3 million to sell, you don't sell. Yes, you can make $3 million more, but think about generational. Think about when your grandkids have it, how much it will be worth then. And black people don't think like that. And once they sell out and they see what it's been done to it and how it's been remixed and how it's not what it was supposed to be and its intended use is being misused and it doesn't have the same core original factors, they want to rant and rave. But I'm like, your opinion doesn't matter because you sold out. Black people always feeling bad. Black people always feeling bad.
Black people always feeling bad.
And I really don't have any feelings about it. Of course, this is not all black people, but it's big enough where most people believe that yes, you can buy out black people. Yes, it's known enough that people actually believe like, yeah, you could pay them whatever and they will. I mean, it is what it is. We can even go take that back to segregation. I mean, black people willingly stopped shopping at black businesses, and black businesses willingly stopped producing their products to go to the white side. Am I mad? Am I upset? No. But you see what it has done generational when white people say, okay, we're not going to hire black people, or they have bias, or they just want to employ their own, which I'm not mad. You see the young black youth, high unemployment, high this, high that, and who can you be mad at? You could really take your frustrations to your grandma and your grandpa, because when it was their youth, when it was their turn, when they had the opportunity to keep everything black, they chose not to. What you won't find on this channel is me just getting all frustrated for nothing. I like being at a cool baseline 8. Not too high, not too low. Baseline. I'm not going to, that's just not me. That's not what I do. It is what it is. Until black people value their own stuff, people won't value black people's opinions, black people's products, even black people's lives. I mean, you're always going to get a group of black people to be like, let's pray, let's be okay, let's not rebel, let's not this, let's not that, take it to Jesus. I mean, you always find black people to sell out. This is just amazing. We just became the race of sellouts. I'm not surprised. I just hope that with my generation, we do better. We value ourselves. We get it together. We're not on some separatism shit. We're not on some hating type stuff. We're not on some team this and team that. I hope with my generation, and especially being black, we put blackness forward.
Not when someone gets gunned down. Not when someone gets thrown into prison with your little pins that say free so-and-so, which you probably know so-and-so did what they did and that's why they're in prison.
But we actually take heed to what's going on. We actually pay attention, and we actually strategically line up our positions so we can work together and we can overcome our adversities. I hope that we actually do that, and it's not just a failed movement or movement for attention or movement for peace, that we actually come out with something. We actually improve something. We actually do something for the next generations to come. Because in this generation of selfies and attention whoredom, ain't nobody doing anything serious. It's just for the likes. It's just for the shares. It's just for the instant gratification. It's just for the virtual going viral. And no one really has. Then plan B is, and plan C is, and then we is just momentarily. So I hope with this generation we take serious and we do serious moves. And we're not sidetracked by booty, social media crap, celebrity crap, or male versus female, light skin versus dark skin, swirling. I hope all that distraction just misses us, because we are at a pivotal point as young black people where what we do today will determine the course of tomorrow. And I know that sounds so dun dun dun, but seriously, it is. What you choose to do with your life today will affect you tomorrow and your kids. So I hope you have your shit together now, or you're trying to get your shit together. Because if you are not trying to get your shit together, you're going to pay for that one way or another. And I hope your kids don't pay for your mistakes. So this generation, we need to get it together. We see the example of our parents. We see the example of our grandparents. Let's be different. Let's be thoughtful, let's be mindful, let's be strategic, let's work together and make things happen. So I guess that's my video. I guess it went, it landed here. Hopefully you get something out of it. Hopefully it's meaningful to you. It wasn't just random topics or whatever. And I'm just gonna cut it here. So comment, rate, subscribe, tell me what you think. You agreeing with me with the generations? Are you the person who gets upset about everything and huffs and puffs? Are you cool baseline like me? What are you going to do? What are your plans? Do you have anything that you want to do and you're going to do it, or you don't want to do it, or you're scared about it? Tell me in the comments below. Also, check out my daily blog. and make sure that you check out my book, Memoirs of a Forgotten Child, coming Valentine's Day. That would be February 14th, 2016. Y'all be blessed, and I'm out.